We are not to underestimate the opponent, but we still have to play the way that we should be playing. Seriously. We drove all the way to Carlton Place not to play like this. Wake the up and start playing soccer the way that we should be playing soccer, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, ask us right now so we can tell you what we expect of you. But we have high expectations of you. We had high expectations all season long. Now, at some point, you guys will have to take some pride in the way that you guys play the game. Take some pride as soccer players. You guys are U18, former ERSL players. If you guys have any questions, was anything not clear before the game and until now? Any questions, any clarification, anything? Come on, voice your concerns, voice your comments. I want to hear anything. Is there anything? We'll still believe in you guys. We know you guys can play good. We know you guys can play much, much better than this. So I just want to see you guys play to that level. That's all I want to see. I just want to see you guys elevate to that level that I know you guys can play. The highlight of this season was Toronto. Think about the opponents that we faced in Toronto and think of how you guys played. I know you guys enjoyed playing against good competition. I know you guys enjoyed playing it, every single second of it. Think about that.
Going into the Robbie's tournament, I had heard that it was the biggest tournament in Ontario and one of the biggest in Canada and one of the more prestigious tournaments. So I heard positive things, and it was also very challenging and hard because you had a lot of good teams competing.
I've also heard a few big names come out of it. For example, Diana Madison, who was part of the women's national team, who scored the winning goal in the bronze medal game at the Olympics a little while back, and also Julian de Guzman, probably out there with the biggest names to come out of Canada in men's soccer.
Braden's gonna be here. Yanni and Jacob will be communicating as soon as he gets to here. So what's your only option? Jacob on a quick one, and that's when you pitch. All right. If he tries to take you on 1v1, put your body in front. Just tackle the ball, get in between him and the ball. All right.
Just sure knowing that you can make it. For example, like in Canada, it's much harder to make it in the game than, for example, Europe. But having people like Diana and Julian, it shows that like, you work hard and it is possible. And now you have players like Alfonso Davies, who's playing in Germany. You have Jonathan David playing in Belgium now. Junior Horlet is playing in the Premier League. So, like the game is becoming bigger, and we're having more players playing around the world than in Europe. So I think the game overall in Canada is really progressing, and it's only going to go up from here.
But I want us to do a warm-up rondo, but I want you thinking of this when you're doing the rondo, all right? Pressing, cover, balance, pressing, cover, balance.
Just take out someone when you're covering.
All right? So let's go.
I was excited. I was excited because it was going to offer an opportunity for our players to go against better opponents than what we're used to in our regular league. And that adversity is what I wanted them to face. And I was very, very, very much looking forward to it. Because at that point, our players were becoming men, and it's through adversity, and that's one of the things that we preach. It's through adversity that you learn about yourself. So I was looking very much forward to the Robbies.
I was with the team last year, so I saw Mike and Steve there. So when I came to the tryouts, I was excited to have Mike as a coach.
You can misdirect players using your mouth as well. I do it all the time when I play with you guys. I'll say, yeah, over here, and I'll turn over there. It's the easiest way to beat a player, using your communication. After that, then it's your skill. And after that, it's your head. All right? Because if your skill doesn't work or his body doesn't faint the way you're expecting it, then you have to use your head. How do you outmaneuver your opponent? Get that 1-2. That's it.
Because he really got me better from the first year I played with them. Because I used to be a really shy player. I wouldn't like getting the ball. I'd kind of like stray away from it. And then during that year, he really helped me with that. And Steve, I was not excited to see Steve again. Not because I don't like Steve, it's just I don't like seeing him because every time he's there, it's fitness. The first time I saw Steve was at I think it was Korean Wilson, and he made us run around the gym for an hour. Ever since, I hated seeing Steve because it's just fitness. But overall, the tryouts were pretty good.
I believe our team was really strong individually, and we had some amazing individual talent. And I think the most important thing was working as a team and connecting our passes. And something we really focused on throughout the season was our communication, to be able to connect the passes and work as a unit rather than a bunch of individuals working for themselves.
I thought our offense, not just offense, our offense always did really well. It was just the finishing that was the problem. And I just hope that got like better like as we went through the tournament. But everything else was pretty solid, and I was really confident like everything else. Like the way we move up the pitch, like keeping possession, I was confident in all that. Just the finishing was a teeny bit worried about.
Of course, I mean, we wouldn't go to a big tournament such as the Robbies without thinking that we had the best team that would get put together, of course. And I mean, leading to the Robbies, most of the players understood how important it was, because it's also an opportunity for them to showcase their skills to different scouts coming to watch these games. So we demanded that they commit fully, leading to the tournament by coming to the training sessions, training at 100% rate, and showing up to games and actually doing what we asked them to do in terms of instructions.
In the game, I was in the midfield, so I was really trying to shut off their through balls and their tactical play.
Corner from Yanni, and then I came to the top of the box where Jace hit it. I think it hit bounced off the defender, then came back to Aaron, and he hit it with his right foot. Remember, it hit off the left post, and it came right to me, and I just tapped it in.
I took the ball from the right side of the field and kept going with a man right on my shoulder. So I was trying to shield him off while at the same time preparing for my shot. I took a really nice touch there and took a shot that went perfect, right in the left top corner. So it was very nicely placed, and the goalie didn't really have much of a chance on it.
Oh yeah, like we're coming in hot. Like that's good. That's good. Like let's just hope it's like that for the rest of the tournament.
So we're short on time, so listen up, make this quick, okay? And I'll try to be as direct as possible. First of all, congrats on the win. It's always a good thing to start off with a win, so 3 points. So just post-game analysis here. 2 things I want to cover. The things that we did well. Short passes. We talked about making those short passes and completing them, so we did that well. The other thing that we did well was the pressing and the covering. You guys noticed that first time, every time that we were first on the ball, or aggressive on the ball, or quick on the ball, we disrupted their plays, right? So they could never get in a nice sequence in that first half especially. So the things that we can do better, short passes again. We had great opportunities to complete the short passes, but we just didn't do it. So we wasted a lot of good opportunities. So just keep completing those short passes. The other things, keep the same type of pressure in the second half that we did in the first half in terms of pressing and covering. If we do that better or if we maintain it through the game, trust me, we can beat the second team.
How would you describe Lorraine in one word?
I would say very helpful. Caring.
Organized? Yeah, organized.
Supportive.
It would have to be psychic.
Fantastic. Everything is one word? So that's, yeah, everything. Laura and Lorraine were everything. Well, Laura and Lorraine were everything in the sense that they helped us greatly throughout the season. I remember before we even put the team together, we were scrambling to register to our first tournament and to register to the tournaments in the season. And Coach Mike and I went over to Lori's house, and Lorraine met us there, and we had coffee around, in their kitchen, and Steven was also there. And that showed commitment on their part. It showed that they were willing to be with us all the way, and that they weren't just gonna do this on their free time. Now it showed that, okay, it's a Saturday afternoon, I have things to do, but I want to make sure that the team has everything that it has, and that showed commitment, and we really appreciated them that for what they did for us.
Anything that they could think of, anything we could think of, they already thought of it. They already had us set up for everything. Everything flowed so smoothly, and it really helped us focus really on preparing the team, and it actually gave us time to focus on players as a unit and as individuals, because we weren't caught up with the paperwork and everything behind the scenes.
Zero. It's up to any team. Any team can win. If you come showing up lethargic, you do your warm-up lethargic, you don't start well. The other team have been prepared at least 45 minutes before the game. They're on the ball, they're moving the ball. Yes, you're good technically. Yes, a lot of you have credentials, but right now that does not matter.
It was a matter of dealing with, coming down from the high of the first game, which was a major victory. And when you come off a performance such as the one we had, which was fantastic, you have to know how to deal with it as a player.
What matters is what's on the score sheet. So yes, we won the last game. Let's put that behind us and let's play this game. All right. Each game has its different obstacles and different challenges. If you come up showing up thinking you're something big, reality gives you a check. All right. So now I want us to focus.
Up at a competitive level, it can be quite expensive, and I know that there were some kids on the team who couldn't afford to pay both the club fees and the team fees. So Lorraine, she works for a company called Eyesight, and was able to approach to see if she could get some funding for some of those players, and she was able to do that, which was great. So nobody did without.
Expectations, first of all, was to not lose. Expectation was we need these points and we cannot afford to lose.
After the first game, where we had a pretty convincing win, we're feeling pretty good going into this game. We knew it would be a tough game. Not a lot of teams like we come against are as reliant on pace and physicality as we were told Westford were. So it was a new challenge.
Brody got that bounce. Woo!
My thoughts is the game is not over, right? The game is not over. At halftime, it's time to recoup.
It was nice defensive transition, offensive transition through Miller and Aaron. And I got the pass, felt the defender on my left shoulder, turned, pulled it in through the other defender, and finished with my right foot on the right side of the keeper. And it was just, it was a big goal that got us going.
My goal came from across from the left side. It may have actually been a corner kick, I believe. And I took a really nice touch on my chest. And right off the bat, I volleyed it right into the top right corner. It was a crucial goal because we were tied 1-1. And it gave us a lot of motivation for the rest of the game. So we were up 2-1.
It's just horrible. Just running, like they don't give up, so they don't stop running.
Yeah, this team they're very resilient. So are we to bring it back up 2-1 after being 1-0 back behind. But this team, fast, aggressive. They put a lot of effort. They work hard. You know, even after being 2-1 down, they kept pushing, kept pushing.
It was tough. Try not to bow our heads, get down ourselves because we knew that if we did, they just would have scored again. It was a 2-2 draw, and to be honest, it was a bit reassuring too with everything that they were coming at us with. And we thought for that game, the outcome it wasn't what we aimed to be and what we wanted exactly, but you know, in some games you have to walk away with a point.
Well, although we were first, we understood that everybody else was gunning for us, right? So being first is a good place to be, but you have to be careful because you can't let your guards down because that's everybody's coming at you. So although we were first, we felt good, we were happy, we were fantastic games up until that point. We knew that we had to be careful, and we knew that we still had jobs to do. Our job in Toronto was not done yet, so it was a matter of remaining level-headed and respecting your opponents.
Yesterday, we started off the first game very well. The second game, we got ahead, but then we slipped up. We had a 2-1 lead with 3 minutes to go. So now today, we have to correct that must-win game. All right? We're going to start off with a 4-3-3.
So after the Wexford game, we knew that we had to bounce back pretty hard. It was a big game. We knew we needed to get the 3 points to go through. Porto are a good team, but we knew we had the ability to beat them, and we knew if we worked hard and worked together, we could get the result.
It's 25 to 35 degrees. If you're feeling an injury, you have to let myself, Steve know, so that we can manage that as well.
Kind of scary because our center back and our goalie are both hurt, so that means like we just have to make sure they don't get there.
Of course, Eli tried, but he just couldn't do it, and we didn't want to risk it. Jay's been an important part of the team, especially at the back line. We had to make sure that he didn't force it. And then Pat is a tough guy. He's a tough guy. Despite the injury, he still decided to go on. But of course, then we had to manage the minutes, then take him off and put him back on just to ensure that it didn't get worse. And then Terrence being our goaltender, we only had one goaltender going into the tournament. We couldn't afford not to have Terrence in that. So we had to be cautious in our approach and
that's where Steve came into. Steve was a hero, basically.
My name is Steve Savage. I'm a registered physiotherapist, so my role on the team was to act as the physiotherapist for the team. So I was to deal with any acute injuries that would happen on the field and deal with any chronic injuries. So basically assessing, rehabbing, advising the coaches of the fitness of the players so they could make lineup adjustments accordingly.
It was nice because when I hurt my foot, like he told me everything I needed to do and then it just healed quickly. So it was nice having that, like knowing exactly what was wrong and how to fix it.
It was really helpful. We had a lot of injuries throughout the year and having him really helped out. And for me especially, I've had a lot of calf problems throughout the year, so during games, my muscle cramps, having him there like loosen me up and getting back on the field really helped.
Steve was taking care of the boys that were injured and he was nursing them back to health very quickly. The quick turnaround was one of the best or fastest I've ever seen.
Steve, man, if we didn't have Steve at that tournament, I don't know what we would have done. Steve took care of the boys on the sidelines like you have no idea.
Now, the one thing I want to correct is how we pressure. Yusuf, I want to point on you for a second. As soon as the fullback gets the ball, I want you on him blocking the option to the wing. I don't want him to be able to pass the ball, right? But I want you touch tight. As soon as you get touch tight to him, Umberto will step up or Yanni will step up and he'll pick off the center mid. I want him to play to the center back because I know Aaron is going to be there. So as soon as Aaron puts that pressure on him, he'll have two options. Dial back to the keeper where Aaron will go in, or send it long. I want him to send it long or dial back for the keeper to ditch it out. And our defenders and midfielders, that's when we win the ball back.
The expectation was, for me, is just I had to keep these guys at 100% fitness, and then they're going to have to give 100% every day, no matter what. And then when the inevitable issues crop up, we've got to be resilient.
It's a 1v1 battle every time, but you have support around you. So take a look. Everybody here is a supporting cast. Players on the bench, players standing. 10 minutes subs. What does that mean? It means that you have to work hard, let someone else come on. Work hard, let someone else come on. I don't want to see someone straggling like this on the field, and then I'm asking you what's going on. I want us to work hard. Every single one of you guys. We have 60 minutes to get into the semifinal. So, match focus right now. He'll have two options. Dial back to the keeper where Aaron will go in, or send it long. I want him to send it long or dial back for the keeper to ditch it out.
The win meant that we were moving to the next phase of the tournament, but also it reinforced what we taught in terms of our squad, and that we had a good squad. We had a quality squad based on the results after having faced those quality opponents. So that was exciting. That was the moment that it further reinforced that, you know what, man, we do have a good squad here. So.
How you doing? You see your other ball in here anywhere?
I made my way over to Canada in January, at the sort of the back end of the winter season. And then on that back end of the winter season, obviously we go into our spring phase, which is a little bit of a assessment period, if you like, where we assess all our players and build our teams.
His decision is limited to 2 passes. Maybe 3 if he gets his head up, maybe 3. What other passes he got on? He did it before.
The 18th team came about through Mike and Steve. And at the start of the season, they didn't have a team. There was no players willing to play at all. So the fact that we're even sat here now discussing the U18 team is a testament to those 2 guys first and foremost.
Yeah, so he's got that. He's got the 2 midfielders, but we've got Umberto in there. We've got in there as well. What's the other pass? Switch it. Yeah, switch it. Did it before.
So Mike came to me and said, look, we struggle with penning players penning the opposition into their own half. And we struggle with work rate defensively. Mainly, his big overriding concern was that defending from the front was a weakness. They were easily broken down by 1 or 2 passes from the back line, or even that long ball over the top, were easily broken down. So he came to me and said, listen, I need a session on the defensive side. I was like, great, no worries, I can do that for you. Came in, I ran a session over on field 9, just behind us here. I'm defending from the front and recovery runs.
Did it before. Head up, switched it now. So for us, the opposition winger, if that's a great position for a winger on this side, ball's on here, where's your position?
So for me, the team had good quality. There was a good group there of lads that obviously were very friendly on and off the field. Obviously knowing that they were going to go and play in one of the biggest tournaments in Canada, sort of in the next week or 2 after the session. So yeah, it was focused. The group was together and motivated as well, which is vitally important.
Right there. Slide over. Slide over a little bit. It's like playing FIFA. That's fine. Yeah. That's about right. It's about right.
I said to the boys after the session that defensively, my advice to them was stick to the task and stay patient. Sometimes defensively it can be frustrating because 1 or 2 passes and you sort of out the game. I think it's vital when you're sort of doing your defensive duties that you're very diligent about it and that you have to be patient. If you're not, you jump in and you're done and all of a sudden the other team on the counter-attack and you've got no chance of getting back. So
we want him on this side to be close enough to this player in here that if Jay switches it in here, he finds him, close enough that I can press him, or as the ball's in trouble, I can get up and win it above his head. But also, we know Jace has got in his locker. If it goes over me, I'm ready to react to go and push that straight away.
My eyes have only been overseeing the game for the past 11 months in Canada. Prior to that, I had no experience of the game in Canada or North America at all. The MLS is obviously relatively well publicised in the UK, but other than that, nothing else.
All right, as soon as you win the ball, Yellow, 6 seconds, that's when our principle of nice and wide, nice and high comes in. Defensively, narrow and compact. All right, we don't go and commit fully to players. We stay half and half to give him something to think about, to give the ball carrier something to think about. We can't
just give them the answers. We have to challenge them.
From what I've seen, I think the game over here needs time. I think the game needs 10 years minimum. In the next 5 years, when the World Cup comes around and it comes to Canada, I think there will be a competitive Canadian team, definitely. And I think probably the overriding point is that the game does need time, especially at youth levels as well, because there's a big emphasis on long-term player development, but for me, I've seen zero emphasis on long-term coach development. And for me, if you haven't got good coaches, you can't have good players. You're always going to get that anomaly, outsider, if you like. You know, your Lionel Messi, your Cristiano Ronaldo's. You're going to get those players, but you're not going to develop them consistently if you haven't got good coaching, good quality coaching. And that's the overriding one for me, is obviously time and coach development.
We're going to start off with Noah, Felipe, Pat, Jace at the back.
I felt like it took a lot of, repetition. You have to practice a lot of the plays, the sequences, how we like to press, how we like to keep the ball, not like falling into the generic trap of just playing simple long ball, but actually like keeping the game, like breaking it down to a simpler version in terms of if there's an option in front of you, take it. If there's a way to go forward, taking it. We had a very good team of individuals, but now we had to just try to structure them and put them in a way that they could play together. And the core team found their balance, and when they did, it was excellent and exciting to watch.
Jacob holding in the pocket there. Umberto Yang in the middle. Braden right side, Yusuf left side, and Aaron up top.
It was hot. Okay, it was very, very, very hot. The heat made it challenging for everybody. But so we had to remind our players that the heat did not only affect us, it also affected the other team.
Let's block those lanes. We do not want to let them play. We do not want to let them move the ball. They're very well organized. They stretch out the field when they have it. When they lose it, they come back. So what we have to do is use our width. So let's do the simple things well. All right?
So we needed to find that edge within ourselves to sort of come out on top. So it's important for them to keep their composure despite the tough environment. It was important for them to follow the game instructions that we gave them going into the game. And it was important for them to play our game. So I think that's what was important at that stage.
That hunger needs to come in. I shouldn't have to shout at you guys. For you to have the hunger to press, for you to have the hunger to win those balls, for you to have the hunger to go forward, all right? Now let's use our willingness. How much do you want this? 60 minutes to the final. Let's show who wants it more, and then we play, all right?
We're still trying to find our feet in the game. We're trying to get a feel for the opponent. To be honest, I didn't really see it as a big deal. I saw it more as a wake-up call, because essentially, like, in a game, the first 20 minutes you want to take control, and we were still, even at the 30-minute mark, we were still trying to find grips to it.
So going into halftime, you guys are down 1-0. What were the changes you felt needed to be made?
They need to calm down, right? Because at that point, emotions were running too high, and as athletes and as soccer players, emotions have to be balanced. You can't be too high, you can't be too low. You need to find that perfect balance. And I think at halftime, after conceding the goal, the guys kind of understood the position that we were in, the magnitude of the moment, and they understood that, listen, we have to start playing now.
And for me, I just repeated that we had to just focus on the task at hand and think more about the instructions of the game, being confident in our abilities, and not being wasteful with the ball.
Oh, that's foul, that's foul.
Oh, ripping right there.
So our attitude going through that second half was positive. The guys, the team had a positive attitude going into it, and they had this belief within them, and you could see on some of their faces that they had belief that, hey, we can still win this game.
So as you guys started getting back into the game in the second half, the Jace event happens. What kind of led to that?
Jace hadn't left the field in the 3 previous games. Myself, Coach Steve, and the physio coach, Coach Steve Savage. We were already prepared. We've already prepared. We had a sub on the line ready to take him out, just to give him at least 10 minutes to get some water in to cool off. And we were just waiting for the opportunity for the ball to go out of play. Because here in Canada, you can only sub on a throw-in or a kick-out or a goal kick. We were waiting. We were legitimately like 10 seconds away from subbing him off. So as that ball went out of play for a throw-in, and the rules said it had to be our throw-in, so the referee gave them a throw in a 50-50 decision. So it's part of the game, but unfortunately, it was too late.
And what happened with Jace being ejected was unfortunate, but it's part of the game, and it was part of understanding to control your emotions. And it was an important lesson for him. It was an important lesson for all of us, actually. But that's soccer. You lose some, you win some. It was just that play. Because it's just one of those plays where almost like 50-50, the ball comes into the box and we have a number of players in that box, and any one of them could kick, could just clear the ball. Any one of them could clear the ball. So it landed on the opposing team's, feet, and they took the opportunity, took the shot. But as soon as the ball went in, it was heartbreaking because it was near the end of the game and we were already thinking about, extra time. So it was, I felt some type of way.
In all honesty, I felt like it was tough, especially for the guys, knowing how hard they worked. They worked very hard. They fought with everything they had. But at that moment in time, it was very difficult because we barely had 11, and we had midfielders playing in defense, we had forwards playing in midfield, and it was a very makeshift team based on how the situation was unfolding. So I cannot criticize anything of how the team played. I felt like they gave their all, and the other team just took advantage of the momentum that they had, as it's part of the game.
Well, listen, goals, it's part of the game, right? You're going to concede goals. Injuries, it's part of the game. You will get injured. The game environment, it was hot. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it was hot. Even us being on the sidelines, not being on the pitch and running, we felt it. But it didn't just affect us, it also affected the other team, right? So there's not really one part where we can sort of just point out that this is the reason why we lost. But it's all these factors coming in together. But it's part of the game.
Soccer's like life. You learn more from losing than winning. We take away the positives from the games we won, and we learn much more from today than from those. And the big lesson is that, like Mike said, we feed off each other. We each have to control our own emotions because other teammates are watching us, and that's where we start to lose it. Because one guy loses it a bit, and then the rest, and then the rest. No, you control your emotions, and the team looks at you. The team looks at every one of you, okay? The last 10 minutes of the game, when you're tied and when you're down, is when you're still a little brittle. So each one of you has to look in yourself, and you just have to play your own game. Breathe and walk away, because everyone else is watching you. You affect the team, okay? If we're 2-1 down to Pegasus, I want a better last 10 minutes emotionally. That's what we learn, and that's a big lesson.
I think actually, because so the day one, we tied the second game, but we won the first game, and then now we lost our second game, but we won the first game. I think it's also like mentally, like we need to want it more. Like in the morning, everybody was like really like into it. They wanted to win the game. Like everybody was talking, and even on the field, the communication was really good. But then it goes silent. Like it goes silent throughout the day. I don't know. People want it less.
So we have to find a way to fix that.
Consistency.
Yeah, when tournaments, like you get exhausted, you know. So like,
come on, man. We need
to find a way to want it no matter what.
Overall, it was good, boys. Good job.
Yeah, it was good.
Our defense got way better.
Yeah, as a team, we defend way better now.
Keeper, any comments?
No.
You sure? Start off with the back. I know you have something to say. Let's go. Let's get it out.
So, what I notice is when we get the ball, no one's pressuring you. You're just kicking it forward. You're not keeping possession. You need to pass the ball. No one's pressuring you. I understand why we're kicking it forward, giving them possession. When you get the ball, just pass it to the team. You understand your pass.
Short pass. That's the exact thing. Because I don't know if you noticed how we got it when we got the ball up before we got our goal. Terrence played the ball to a defender. Defender played into the midfield. Jacob connected with a midfielder, and Umberto connected with a midfielder. And we got the ball forward just by doing short passes. Once we got the throw in, the ball came across. That's when we had the opportunity. But if we just panic every time we try to move forward, it doesn't work. Even when Yusuf had the ball, he'd play a short pass, get it back, he drove with it. Short pass, get it back, and he created. That's how we have to play. We're Hornets, guys. We don't play kick and run, we play ball. All right? So well done, and let's go back. Let's enjoy the Greek food. And then Tuesday, let's send a message, all right? Where are you playing Tuesday?
Pegasus.
Where are they from?
Pegasus Insurance. GTA.
They're from Gatineau.
Last one before we go.
Legs. Come on, man.
Can Pat scream?
Of course.
Hornets on 3! 1, 2, 3, Hornets!
Better get the cheese, boy. It's hot. Better get the cheese, boy. It's hot.
Braden, bring it in. Let's go. Get closer. Listen, Mike, Steve, myself, we can draw all the plays in the world. We can draw every single thing in the world. We can draw all the formations. We can give you guys the most inspirational speeches we can. It's easy. It's very, very easy for us to do that. But at some point, you guys will have to show some pride in the way that you play. Because we can't play for you. We're not on the pitch with you guys. You guys are playing. Soccer is a very simple game. We've been practicing all season long. We've played against some amazing teams in Toronto. So I want you guys to refer to that. Because the way we're playing right now, it's not the way that we should be playing soccer. Soccer is easy. We gave you the simple instructions before the game, and we're not following them. At some point, you guys will have to take some pride in the way that you're playing, in the way that you guys conduct yourself as soccer players on that team, as a U18 team, individually and collectively. We're playing like we don't know how to play. And we're playing against a team that's... Guys, come on. Come on now. So let's just bring the same intensity and energy here. I know we're only 12 and we can't make the subs, but still, come on guys. Just a little bit of pride in how you guys play, because you guys can play to that level. Just bring it up. Bring it up a notch in the second half.
3 lessons that you started to learn in Toronto and the games after that. This is lesson 3. When you have a team down 2-1, a team that is emotionally resilient, you get 3 and you get 4 and you finish them. A team that isn't, you don't. You're playing down to their level. You play up to the level of those teams in Toronto and you play really good. You're not very resilient right now. You're playing down to their level. Stop it. Play up to yours. Do what Steve and do what your coach is giving you to do. Play up to your level.
Like Steve said, I'm not on the field playing for any single one of you guys. I can't jump into your brain and make the decisions for you. I can't physically control your feet to move the ball for you guys. All you have to do is follow simple instructions and you have yourself medals and trophies. That's all you need to do. Stepped up to challenges arose in specific games. Every single player in the squad had a role to play, and they've all shown flashes, as Steve put in. They show flashes of how good they could be.
Life isn't perfect. You know, if we all had the perfect job and the perfect girlfriend and the perfect marks in school, I mean, you know, life would be boring because that's not what happens. You know, you start out with a plan and you prepare as best you can, and then you work together to achieve a common goal. And you have to help each other out. You know, when one guy has a difficulty, you help him out. That's what the team, because you're going to have a difficulty, and then the team helps you. And that's what it is for life nowadays. You know, jobs, relationships, school. You know, you can't do it by yourself. You need help. You need a team.